Hey guys, so we're finally back with another video. I wanted to make this video because there's so many things that is dropping for American Horror Story Delicate. Now, this rushed me to make a video that I always wanted to make. Prior to finishing up the American Horror Story Delicate Part 1 last year, something piqued my interest and I went back to watch American Horror Story Coven, also the Apocalypse, as well as Roanoke, and something caught my attention. There was a scene that Fiona Good, the previous past Supreme, the mother of Cordelia, throughout the almost the penultimate episode of the season 3, we saw that Fiona finally gave in and became friends with Mary Laveau, right? In the meantime, her Cordelia's husband basically attacked the coven and basically slaughtered a lot of the witches. And we learned that Hank, his father, was also in charge of this company, multi-company called Delphi. And Delphi specialty is to hunt witches, especially with silver bullets, right? There was so much more that I discovered from just watching the season yet again after all this time. One name that dropped down onto my plate was when there was a scene where right before the penultimate season finale, where we literally saw Myrtle Snow as well as all the other witches sit down, almost like a parallel image of the Last Supper, which we saw that Myrtle Snow is in the centerpiece, basically is basically giving the Last Supper of the season. And before that episode, we saw that Fiona, when she was trying to destroy the company Delphi, I'm gonna get straight to this. The names that she dropped while she's creating the spells. One of the names that came up was Haket. Now, Haket, I was very surprised that I didn't catch that at all. It's pretty insane because I'm going to tie this in to season Apocalypse, Roanoke, as well as our Delicate season. Now, one thing about Fiona Good, as well as any Supreme, is that they are in charge of protecting the Coven as well as finding a successor, right? But upon her, trying to destroy the Delphi Corporation and creating the summoning spells with Mary Laveau, Mother of Angels Haket is a name that Fiona name dropped, and that this is a most important character that is now revealing itself into the future season of American Horror Story. What I mean by that is that Haket has not only reincarnated itself into multiple versions of Supreme, like for an instant, the first Supreme, which is Scaffitch, which was in season 6, was the very first Supreme that was created. Now, we know that we saw in the Roanoke that the boat that carried the Scaffitch character was brought overseas to the land of Roanoke, where she created her whole ritual thing, right? And then starting to research more about this, I started realizing that Heket is basically a Greek goddess which focused on magic crossroads and as well as sorcery, ghosts, and necromancy in the ancient Greek religion myth. Now, what do that means? It basically means it's like a higher version of a supreme. She's literally a goddess, and she has three. She's very. It looks very Indian-like or Hindu, but it's Greek mythology, right? Now, Fiona mentioned her either was trying to summon her power during the whole fight between the Delphi Corporation witch hunters. And I was like, this is very interesting. Now I will be leaving the video that mentioned that down to the description below. But it was very fascinated that I rewatched this and learned this. Now, how this is gonna tie into what I'm about to say further on in the video. Now, this video is going to have two parts. The first part will be talking about the history of the Greek goddess of Heket and how the connection to her and I guess her other siblings, which also from what I heard in Greek mythologically, that she sided with Zeus during the Titan hierarchy of, like, I guess the battle between the Titans and the Olympians. Now that means that the practice of worshiping Heket is very, very ancient. So we're going to get different hierarchies, I would say, of angels and the American Horror Story pantheon of mythological creatures. Now, we saw that in the lowest part, we have Mary Laveau worshiping basically Pavo Legba. We have the Minotaur. We have different mythological creatures throughout the American Horror Story anthology. Now, this character, this spiritual character deity, has now played its hand into the future season of American Horror Story. The reason why is that it was Heket, I would believe, that fought against Michael Langdon in season 8 of Apocalypse. The reason why I tell you this, we all trying to figure out where do the witches get their source of power. And I remember Cordelia was mentioning when she tried to pull Queenie out of the hotel, she said that even the energy that we draw our strength from was extinguished by the devil himself. And that will be a reference that could say that their way of drawing power is either from the Greek mythological goddess Heket, which is the one that blessed them with that same ability. But you could somewhat say that all religion, all mythological things ties into all sorts of other religion. And the first thing that we saw from what Heket looks like, she is a three-faced deity with either 6 arms or 4 arms, and that she is carrying different ornaments of weapons, such as a heart, a staff, a I'm guessing like some sort of like trumpet or something that resembles a certain source of powers, right? And different element. And the way she's dressed, who else has dressed similar to that? Well, I will tell you. The person that has dressed very similar to Heket is Mallory. And Mallory was the supreme that was able to go back in time and was able to stop the apocalypse. That would make perfect sense of why we see how Mallory looks like and why she looks very similar to Heket. So like and subscribe to the video, and I'll see you guys in part 2 of this video. Later.